Welcome back, everybody. This is the third week where we're talking about how community helps with economic stability. Travis and I are doing something a little bit different this week as we did our first week, if you recall. And if you haven't seen that video, I really encourage you guys to go back and to watch that video first and even to read that first blog post. So for this week, we are going to talk a little bit about how we at LoveINC introduce community to the churches and connect neighbors. For that, we're going to start off with Travis, and we're going to talk about how our GAP ministries provide economic stability through our GAP ministries. And if you want to learn more about GAP ministries and what all that means, definitely want to ask you guys to visit our website to learn more about how we affect all this change and affect all this transformation. But for now, Travis, how is it that LoveINC helps people through our GAP ministries?
Yeah, so our GAP ministries, and they are there to kind of fill a gap that we see in services in our community, right? And so we recognize that, DHS, they provide food stamps, and there's a number of food banks around us. So we don't have any ministries specifically set up to address food issues because we recognize there are great agencies out there doing great work to help people get their food. And so we know about them. We refer people to them if they need food, but we don't necessarily have a church that's doing that kind of work right now in our network. But so GAP ministries, they're, depending on the different churches, they're ministries that they set up to regularly meet a specific need in the community. So for instance, one of our most prominent ones is Zor Lutheran Church in Canby. They provide furniture and household items. If you move into your house and it's empty, they can give you a couch, a sofa, a TV, no, don't TVs, but a TV stand, so they can give you something to hold your TV on. They can give you a bed, they can give you nightstands, a dining table and chairs, silverware, dishes, pots and pans, towels, blankets, bed sheets, all that kind of stuff. They can furnish pretty much your whole home with the donations that they receive that they store in their warehouse. And so that's something that church has decided that's important for them to do. It's something they want to do. It's something that they focus on. And so that church has that focus. Other churches, like for instance, New Life Church in Gladstone, they're establishing their own care pantry, which basically that provides hygiene and cleaning products, the essentials that you need. You got to keep yourself clean. You got to keep your house clean. Oftentimes food stamps doesn't cover that though, and they can be pretty expensive. I mean, laundry detergent and shower gel and shampoo and all that's expensive. It's expensive to take care of yourself in your house. And so they're trying to regularly meet those needs in their community through that ministry. So that's what the GAP ministries are. And they really help widen how we connect people to community, right? What we're talking about this month is connecting people to community to help them provide more economic stability in their life. And so when you have a hard time paying for your laundry detergent and your shampoo and your soaps and deodorant and all of that stuff because it adds up, that's where coming to us here at LoveINC, we can connect you to communities, to these churches in your community that can help meet those needs and provide you a little bit more stability on the month to month, help you make ends meet because you're not having to spend an arm and a leg just trying to keep your arms and legs clean. That's kind of funny.
Well done.
And so, yeah, that's kind of how we, through our GAP ministries, as well as some of our more broad like service ministries, like what we shared with Jessica's story this month in our blog post of how a church came around and helped meet a need that, she might not have been in a place where she was necessarily struggling to make ends meet month to month, but she didn't have the money to afford people to come and help her move at the last moment. And so she needed a community of people who could help meet that need for her. And so that's what we did. And in doing that, that not only met the need and helped her get through the month and settle into a new place, but it actually helped connect her to community that long term is going to be able to meet other needs and where she can meet needs too and really bring something to the table and be a part of community in a healthy way. But really, all of this actually starts in our Connection Center. And so, Stuart, tell me a little bit about the LoveINC Connection Center and how that plays a part in somebody's economic stability.
Yeah, no, and I think the part that what LoveINC's core principle, what we're trying to do is help people that are in low-income situations or struggling with relationships and struggling with life. And so I think in that area of connecting people in our Connection Center. So first and foremost, I guess, our Connection Center is a call center. And that is one of the first things that every LoveINC starts with is their call center. Used to be called the clearinghouse. Now it's called the connection center. And so when individuals call in, they're making requests for things, for material things generally. And so when they're doing that, it opens a door for us to establish that first relationship. And what I wrote in my blog anyways was a couple of stories of how that works and what we do as far as referral process or application process. But really, it is the entry point for them to realize that the church is a resource. 78% of our clientele, our neighbors who call in with requests, don't see the church as a viable resource to meet their needs. And to a certain part, like being a career Christian, like that breaks my heart that people don't see the church as a place where they can get their material, physical, emotional, relational, spiritual needs met. And so that is probably the first thing that we offer them is a relationship. So we spend about 30 to 45 minutes on a phone call with someone, taking an application. We're doing a full inspection of their whole life, a holistic approach. We're getting to know who they are as a person. We're getting to know who they are in their spiritual journey, or their spiritual walk, whatever that might look like. We're asking them questions about their emotional state. The physical is what they called for, the material items what they called for generally, but our main heart and our main direction that we take each one of these phone calls is to connect them to people, build a new community around them. So as we gave a few examples, and I wrote one in my post, but also the example that of Jessica was that when she was calling because she was calling all these different agencies, and then finally called us because she didn't have anybody with a truck. She didn't have anybody to help her pack boxes. She didn't have anybody to help come over and move things. And what we were able to provide her in the story in our post was a community of people around her. So she is now has a group of people that care for her, love her, have cooked her dinners, invited her to community group. She has people now. And that all started with a phone call. And so when we say that the Connection Center is the beginning of community, it really is for this person, for this woman that we helped, and her 6-year-old son. Like the opportunity for her to be able to make a phone call now, where she couldn't make a phone call before, and get connected with somebody. That's pretty special. Yeah.
And that we ended up being that last place that she turned to and had nowhere else to go.
She had nothing.
And we were able to, it's not like we came in and did all the work for her. Right. It's that we just connected her to those people who lived in her neighborhood, who could lend a hand and help her move and help her get settled into this new place, and then just be a friend to her. And that she felt comfortable in all of that too. So that's a great.
Well, and the fun part to that as well is that the individuals from that church were equally blessed. It wasn't a one-way street. We provided a community for her, but then she also was absorbed into our community.
Right.
So the thing that was a special treat to this specific church that helped her during that time of need, is that they were absolutely just blessed by her becoming part of their community. And so it's not a one-way street. It's not poor person. It's poor all of us, but we're all coming together to become healthier.
Right. She brings something to the table.
She does.
Just like every person from that church who came and helped her move that day brought something to the table too.
Well, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this content what we shared with you today, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend or family member. It really helps us out in this channel as far as developing it. Also, leave a comment in the comment section below so that we know your thoughts as far as developing more content for you. And if you'd like to learn more about the subject that we spoke of today, of course, you can read the blog post if you haven't already. But we have a number of other ways to learn about LoveINC. So visit our website, but also in the description below connects you to all of our content. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week. God bless.